In the high-stakes arena of broadcast journalism, where morning shows serve as the daily ritual for millions tuning in to start their day with news, inspiration, and a touch of levity, few figures embody stability and charisma quite like Gayle King. At 70 years young, King has become synonymous with CBS Mornings, her warm smile and incisive questions greeting viewers through triumphs and trials alike. Recently, whispers of change rippled through the industry when a prominent trade publication suggested that King might be poised to step away from her anchor desk as her current contract nears its end in May 2026. The report painted a picture of potential transitions, perhaps a pivot to producing her own content or assuming a fresh role within the network's vast ecosystem, stirring a mix of nostalgia and curiosity among her devoted audience. However, in a swift and unequivocal move, CBS News has poured cold water on these notions, issuing a statement that not only clarifies the situation but also reaffirms King's indispensable place in the network's future. The spokesperson's words were measured yet resolute. No conversations have been initiated regarding King's contract, which remains firmly in place until its natural expiration. This isn't mere corporate speak, it's a deliberate signal amid a period of flux for CBS, underscoring that King's contributions are not just appreciated but essential. The network's optimism shines through in their eagerness to discuss what comes next, implying that any evolution in her role will be collaborative and forward-looking, not abrupt or imposed. This response arrives hot on the heels of the speculative article, transforming what could have been a narrative of farewell into one of continuity and anticipation. For fans who have watched King navigate the ebb and flow of morning television, this news lands like a comforting embrace, a reminder that some constants endure even as the media landscape shifts. To understand the weight of this clarification, one must delve into King's remarkable journey with CBS, a saga that spans over a decade of dedication and adaptation. She first stepped into the CBS This Morning studio in 2011, a time when the program was rebranding itself to compete in the cutthroat trio of network morning shows alongside NBC's Today and ABC's Good Morning America. King wasn't a newcomer to the spotlight. Her roots trace back to a storied career that began in local radio and blossomed into a close professional and personal alliance with Oprah Winfrey. As the founding editor of The Oprah magazine, King honed her skills in storytelling that blended the profound with the personal, a style that would define her on-air presence. Joining CBS marked a pivotal leap, thrusting her into the national consciousness as a co-anchor who could seamlessly transition from dissecting global politics to celebrating everyday heroes. Over her 14-year tenure, King has been the steady hand guiding CBS Mornings through a whirlwind of changes. The show has undergone several iterations, from its early days as a more traditional news hour to its current iteration as a multifaceted program that weaves hard-hitting journalism with lifestyle segments and human interest stories. Lineup shifts have been frequent, co-hosts coming and going like seasons, but King has remained the anchor, her presence a gravitational force that keeps the broadcast grounded. Today she shares the desk with Tony Dokoupil, whose investigative depth adds a layer of rigor, and Nate Burleson, whose infectious energy and sports savvy inject vitality. This trio's chemistry is no accident. It's the product of years of on-air alchemy, where King's maternal yet authoritative demeanor balances Dokoupil's precision and Burleson's exuberance. Their segments often feel like a lively family breakfast conversation, tackling everything from climate crises to celebrity memoirs with equal parts empathy and expertise. What sets King apart in this competitive field is her unfiltered authenticity, a trait that resonates deeply in an era where viewers crave connection over polish. She's the anchor who chokes up during interviews with grieving families, who calls out hypocrisy in real time, and who isn't afraid to share glimpses of her own vulnerabilities, whether it's her love for true crime podcasts or her candid reflections on aging in the public eye. Memorable moments abound. Her emotional sit-down with R. Kelly in 2019, which sparked widespread conversation about accountability and entertainment, her poised coverage of the January 6 Capitol riot, blending factual reporting with a palpable sense of national heartbreak, or her lighter fare, like hosting the White House Correspondents' Dinner with a wit that disarms even the most jaded politicians. These instances aren't just career highlights, they're testaments to King's ability to humanize the news, making complex issues accessible and urgent. The rumors of her potential exit didn't emerge in isolation. They bubbled up against the backdrop of seismic shifts at CBS's parent company, Paramount Global. In August, Skydance Media finalized an $8 billion acquisition of Paramount, a deal that sent shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond. This merger, one of the largest in media history, promised synergies but delivered immediate turbulence. thousands of layoffs across divisions, a top-to-bottom leadership restructuring and tough decisions on programming viability. The axe fell heavily on late night, with The Late Show with Stephen Colbert slated to conclude its run in May 2026, marking the end of an era for CBS's comedy news hybrid. Cost-cutting measures, driven by streaming wars and declining linear TV ad revenues, have forced networks to rethink talent rosters and resource allocation. In this climate of uncertainty, speculation about high-profile figures like King was inevitable. After all, morning shows are cash cows, drawing premium ad dollars from brands targeting early risers. A report suggesting her departure could signal broader cost-saving moves, perhaps reallocating her star power to digital formats or syndicated specials. Yet, CBS's rebuttal cuts through the noise with clarity and conviction. By emphasizing that no discussions have occurred, the network not only dispels the immediate gossip but also positions King as a strategic asset in their post-merger strategy. Her value extends far beyond the anchor desk. She's a brand unto herself, with a massive social media following, best-selling book endorsements, and crossover appeal that bridges demographics. At 70, King defies the industry's youth-obsessed tropes, proving that experience and relatability trump fleeting trends. Her contract's extension through 2026 provides a runway for thoughtful planning, perhaps expanding her role into podcasts, international reporting, or mentorship programs for emerging journalists. The spokesperson's forward-looking tone hints at possibilities. Imagine King helming a primetime special series on women's leadership or partnering with streaming arms like Paramount Plus for exclusive content. In a landscape where veterans like Diane Sawyer and Katie Couric have transitioned to selective projects, King's trajectory could blend legacy with innovation.